So question 1.3 states solve for x if x squared plus 2x equals negative 2. In a case like this where we've got x squared, an x, and a value without an x, the best way to solving x or to solve for x will be to try to get all of the values to the one side of the equation and set it equals to 0, meaning that x squared plus 2x, and then taking over the negative 2, so it will be positive 2 equals to 0. So the next step with this will be to factorize it, or to take out a common factor. So in this scenario, none of the terms have something in common, so I will try to factorize and to see if I can solve x this method. So what we'll do is we'll look at the last value being 2 and see what times what will give me 2. So I know that 1 times 2 will give me 2. However, I cannot add or subtract 1 and 2 from each other to give me the value of 2, meaning that I will not be able to factorize this equation into two different brackets. And generally, when we are unable to factorize, we use the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula is x equals to negative b plus minus the root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. It is important, however, to note that the quadratic formula is not given on our formula sheet, so it is important for us to memorize the quadratic formula, as it is a formula that we use often. So our standard format of the quadratic formula, or for a quadratic statement, is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So if we relate these two to each other, I can see a is the value in front of x squared, which is a 1. B is the value in front of x, so that will be positive 2. And c will be the value without an x, which is also positive 2. Remember, if it is minus 2, for example, here, that my c value will be minus 2. However, in this example, my a, b, and c values are all positive. So negative b is 2, so it's going to be negative 2, plus minus the root of b squared, which is 2 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 2. So again, all of those multiplied with each other, all over 2a, which is 1, so 2 times 1. This can then be simplified to minus 2 plus minus, so 2 squared will give me 4, and then minus 4 times 1 times 2 will give me 8, all over 2. So the next step will be to subtract the last values there. So minus 2 plus minus, so minus 4, or 4 minus 8 will give me the root of minus 4. And this is still all over 2. So it's important to note that generally we're not allowed to have negatives under the root, but however, during the course we developed, or we learned, that the negative 1 underneath the root can be described as either I or j. So this again being part of complex numbers. So what I need to do is I need to take out the negative underneath the root and to write it as a I value, or a j value if you prefer to have it as a j. So this will be minus 2 plus minus, so this will be then the root of 4 multiplied with the root of minus 1, and that will then be over 2. So if I took that further, it will still remain minus 2 Then I will have plus minus. So the root of 4 is 2. And then the negative root I will change to I, all over 2. The 2 will then simplify out my terms, or you can put it on each term on its own, so it will be minus 2 over 2 plus minus 2 over 2 I. And as we can see, that will cancel out, so we will have minus 1 plus minus I, as the 2's will cancel each other out. And that is the answer for question 1.3.